Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody today? I hope everyone who is here holding space for this wonderful conversation about to take place is happy, fulfilled, and excited. So here we go. Hey, Kiara. Oh, how is Italy? Are you holding the energy down over there? I hope so. Hi, Iha. It's nice to see you here. And Don K. Oh, goodness. Hi, Shelly Ham. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for being present. So if you're new to the channel, whether you're with us today on Facebook or over on YouTube, my name is Jamie Butler. I am a medium. My passion is to gently wake people up to that inner light and knowing that we all possess. And I do that in many ways, but in one way I run a mentorship group. And this group that I've been with for 5.5 months is coming out of their shells. They have aligned all that energy sensitivities and energy awareness to their passion in life, and they've created businesses out of it. So this mentorship is about launching a spiritual business, finding your integrity and ethics, just living the life that you want to live. Today is a great example. We're going to be speaking with Rachel Ashby, and she is over in the UK, and you'll get to hear that in her lovely accent. I could listen to her all day. I'm trying to make her giggle right now, but it's not happening. And something about Rachel is that she's been an artist now for about 15 years, but in her energy-centric way, she's able to connect to animals, and she's able to sense and absorb the auras of animals. So she is an animal energy artist. She is an animal healer and communicator, and we're going to hear today about some of her techniques, how she takes the aura and puts it on the canvas, how she connects to animals, and just especially just get to know her because she's fabulous. She started a company called Lemurian Ark. I'll be sure to put up the information for you. And before I bring her up, I'm going to do a few more hellos because you guys are awesome. Vidya Pandit, I hope I said your name correctly. Hi, and thank you for being here. Lisa Erickson, Rachel S., good to see you. Nancy Garfinkel, you're a wonderful, wonderful soul. And Jennifer Newton, it's so wonderful to see you again. Sarah Vajias, Daniel, you're so awesome. Daniel from Arizona, always keeping it true. Let's get to know this animal energy communicator, healer, and artist, Rachel Ashby. And she's coming in. There she is. Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Luminaires. Nice to be with you.
So where are you speaking to us from? Where are you at?
So I'm in North Wales, in the UK. It's a very beautiful, mystical place, North Wales. So it's perfect for energy-centric work.
I was about to say it. The same thing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So I have a million questions in my head, and I know Luminaires do too. But before we dive into that, can you share a little bit, like how did you come into being an artist? How did you come in to recognize that you are sensitive in different ways? And where did you have the concept to blend the two of them? Because that's what I find so fascinating.
Yeah, well, I've always been intuitive. Luckily for me, my mum was very energy-centric. So internally, it's always been quite normal for me to view the world this way. And I knew I had a connection to the animals after visiting the circus as a child. And I noticed that I could connect to the animals there by I saw an elephant who obviously had been in the circus. We went around the back of the tent, so I found myself connecting to this elephant, who I immediately started feeling his helplessness and loneliness and pain from just came out of nowhere, so intense. And as a child, I didn't know what to do with that. It was just too much information. So it was a very poignant moment, and I've never forgotten it. And I just couldn't deal with it. So as I've grown older, I now realise that I can deal with the communication that I can get from the animals, and because some of it's not always very nice, and some of it's always, lovely. But I've always been creative as well, and I started out as a hairstylist, and then I took my creative spirit off to another level by going to night school and learning how to paint. And just like Crystal said yesterday, I wanted to walk around covered in paint and clay and play with power tools and work with metal and create things all day. So then I did a degree in applied arts and silversmithing. And all that time, though, I was still interested in healing and Reiki and all things energy. And I just viewed it as a hobby and an interest. So I never really connected the dots with regards to animals until much later, when I got more time to paint after my son got older. So I would get commissions for lots of pet portraits, and I loved painting the animals. Painted all sorts of animals: goats, horses, dogs and cats, wild animals, birds, particularly seagulls and chickens for some reason. And once I started to do that on a daily basis, I began to notice that I was seeing more and connecting to the animals more, and beginning to see energetic colours and auras all around the animal, and starting to hear the communication again. So that's really how that started.
The chimes over here are ringing every time you talk about the animals. Maitland must be here tenfold and just cheering you on. And I'm hearing now that our link that is supposed to land on Facebook and YouTube has only landed on Facebook. So we are not streaming live to YouTube for some reason, even though it states that we are. So I'm wanted to check in with you to see if you wanted to continue rolling as is, or did you want to disconnect and come back in?
I'm happy to continue.
Let's roll with it. I love it. That is such an interesting story about the elephant. I mean, it reminds me, of course, of Dumbo, which was one of like the first movies. Actually, Bambi was my first and Dumbo was my second. But to have that moment with an animal, especially one so, large and exotic, and to be aware of that it's deeply moving and profound. It will change a person. And we're obviously seeing that great shift in you as well. So you've done these studies, you found out, you had people go, okay, you do this. I want you to paint my animal. I want you to do this. Then you started to paint them as how you saw them from your third eye or your heart, rather than how they looked in the photograph. So how do you connect to see an animal's aura? And you know what? Maybe a better question, Rachel, before talking about animal auras is, maybe some listeners and observers out there haven't even thought about animals having energy fields and auras. Like, do you feel that there's energy fields around everything? Is this just natural, or are humans different? What's it like?
Yeah, definitely energy fields around everything. Even inanimate objects have an energy field, and everything is energy, and we're all connecting together through this invisible force. It's It's an incredible thing. And and you know, it's with the animals, they sort of come in and out of our own energy and our own space, and they can connect with us and then go off on their own sort of journey, particularly sort of wild animals, and that, you know, they may come and visit us, and, you know, we'll connect with them, and they can actually mean something, and you can say, oh yes, you know, I know that that person, that robin, you know, may have been sort of my grandma, you know, coming to visit me, or, you know, but you kind of know that it's an inner knowing when people see animals, that they have that connection to us, whether they're our pets, or, well, not our pets really, I don't like to call them pets, they're animal companions, um, or wild animals. So all the energy is connected with us, and they're not separate from us at all.
So when you tap into them, how do you take that energy that you're seeing or sensing and put it on canvas?
So when someone sends me a photograph of their animal, what I do is I make it completely black and white, and then I do that because it makes it easier for me to see the energy, and it just takes away all the background noise, and I can really focus in on the animal. And then I meditate on the animal and with the animal's energy, and I sit with it for a while, and we begin to connect. And then it's a little bit like an automatic writing process, because everything that I'd learned as a trained artist, you know, to think about planning and composition and all of this, well, it seems to go completely out of the window for me. And it just is a moment where I get caught up, and it just comes, and I just go with it. And I've learned to go with it now and not fight it, and think, oh, you know, this is wrong. This is the wrong way of going about it. But no, it's the way it needs to come through.
I love that. And we have many people writing now, Bethany Blessing and Shelley Ham. Bethany's asking, do you get clear, concise messages, or are they more in like general when you speak to animals? Which I think this is something to talk about, because our animals are not speaking English. And if we think of getting a clear, concise message, we would need to speak the same language. So do you get it really specific or in general?
I think I have had very clear messages, yes. Mostly it's kind of feeling intuitive, and the colors that come through, and it's a combination of things. But I do get clear communication, I guess, from their spirit team, because they, you know, everybody has a spirit team, even the animals have a spirit team, and that is just made up of all sorts of energetic bodies, you know. It's just wonderful. And then it becomes I hear messages quite clearly. Yes. Yeah, it's a good question.
So I really like how you mentioned you get a black and white photograph. So it doesn't, just the color of the photograph doesn't interfere with you tapping into them. So when you get the black and white photograph, or when you get hired to provide a service to do animal communication, because I know we're talking about two separate things at the same time, do you need to work off a photograph, or do you work from getting a name? Bethany is also asking this as well.
Yeah, I prefer a photograph, just purely because I'm creating a sort of a portrait for someone to put in their home as well. So it needs to be sort of like a beautiful work of art.
Well, do you do sessions for animal communication without doing the artwork?
Yes, yeah, I do.
So
I
in
do.
that case, do you need a photograph to do that?
No, I can do that remotely, just with an A. I can tap into that.
That's super awesome. So the process where you're communicating to one and the other one you're observing the aura so that you could do the painting, is the approach the same for you?
What between the?
Yeah, and I guess what I want to know is when you're, doing your work and whether it's communicating and getting messages or doing the artwork, how do you connect to either path and are they similar?
They are similar because I'm just focused on that animal, and the information just comes through. It just is very, very similar.
Is it 'cause Shelley Ham is asking, do you find that each animal communicates differently or is there a difference in how you pick them up?
They communicate differently. They're all individuals, just like us. And in the way that they communicate, that they do communicate differently as well, because some animals kind of more shy, and they will communicate more with colors, and they don't always come straight at me with all the language. So that that's an interesting thing as well, because they all come in different ways. There is no two animals the same.
Do you communicate with animals who have transitioned or only animals who are living?
Yes, yeah, it's the same energy.
Yeah, really? You find one's easier to do than the other?
No, because I feel like I'm just tapping into the same energy, so it doesn't really matter to me. It just comes through. The information just comes through.
Does that go the same with when you're doing artwork? Can you see the auras and the energy off of an animal who's transitioned?
Yes, yes.
Uh,
It's the same. You're just tapping into the same energy.
Daniel here, Fulgham is saying, working with animals is so much easier than working with people for me. For me, communicating with animals seems natural. Learning English and talking in words seems foreign. I agree. So I snuck around and found some images of yours. Do you mind if we show a few?
No, please do.
Ah,
Love that.
thank you. What is happening here? Who is this?
This is a friend of mine's horse, who is called Sanita, and he has since transitioned since I did this painting. He's a beautiful, beautiful horse who has this beautiful golden aura around him. Yeah, he's one of my first aura paintings.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't mean to hide it. There we go. That's what I meant to do. And this, no, that guy?
Yeah, this is Darwin. He belongs to one of our fellow mentorees, Tatiana, and he's just beautiful. He has this very spiritual aura, and he was very communicative with me, and he was telling me that he has come in to be a guide and a teacher and a healer as well, and he's here to assist Tatiana on her spiritual journey. And he's just gorgeous. Yeah, he's lovely.
Well, I searched around a little bit and I found out that, where is it? You have an account on Redbubble and also on Society6, and I love these companies. And you can upload your artwork, and then you can turn around and buy a phone case like this, or like we just scampered through a little bit. this is a fox that you painted, and you can get it on a pillow. I was like, it's so exciting. Throw blankets, curtains, like all these little things that you can do instead of just having it, not just having it hanging on your wall. I don't mean to belittle that, but besides having it hanging on the wall that you could adore, you can do something like this and carry it around. That was really, I like that. So creative of you. But here's the fox that you painted.
Yes, my summer solstice fox I did for the summer solstice. And I was just getting all this fox energy coming through here. But I've imparted this painting with Reiki. So that it's a Reiki healing painting. This is now for all generic foxes. This one is to give healing to all the foxes, all species of fox. So I quite like to do that as well and have the Reiki healing put into the painting.
You led me to my next thing is you have studied Reiki, and so you do put this vibrational frequency into the art. But I've also heard you talk about crushing crystals.
Yes, I really like the vibration of the crystals and the crystal healing, and I found a method to put that into the paintings as well. So whatever I'm guided to do, really, by the animal and by the animal's team. So when you have a painting with the healing in your home, you are connecting with the painting and also with your animal, and your animal is also connecting with you, and then in turn with the painting. So there's this flow of healing between everything, and it's eternal healing. So when you're viewing the painting, they pick up on your energy, and you can intentionally, when you view the painting, you can intentionally send out healing to your own animal. So that is a really, really valuable thing for an animal that may have been abused or has gone through some trauma. So I'm just guided basically to put Reiki symbols or crystals or certain colors in the painting to promote that healing.
So no matter how long ago you've done the painting, the Reiki stays embedded into it, as well
Yeah.
as the crystal frequencies and the intent that you put into it as you were creating it.
Yeah.
So have you, and I don't know if this is off base. If it is, you can just be like, Jamie, like, too many questions. But do you take into consideration the person who is ordering the painting? Say like if there needed to be a healing between the owner of the painting and the image that you're creating, or is it specifically aligned to the content that's going to be on the canvas?
Not it really depends, because the animal quite often is taking on our energy, and sometimes they can display symptoms, mental and physical symptoms, and take on our problems for us. So it also heals the human as well as the animals. It's just a flow of healing between the animal and the human, and it's just a beautiful, it's just not separate, it's just a beautiful thing that it all goes together,
I don't know.
because they're so they've come in to help us and assist us, and in turn we assist them. So it they really, that will happen, yes,
If you're ever wondering if you're psychic or not, that's twice now that I've jumped in to ask something and then realized you were still talking and you answered my question. Like something, we're having a different conversation up here telepathically, and then we're having one out of our mouths. It's like different layers. But that's what I wanted to ask is, I didn't think about that connection in that way. And though I know, because I've witnessed animals take on mentally and physically and emotionally their, owners, not their owners, their animal parents, their imbalances, it's like they amplify them. And I was going to ask your insight on why do you think they do that?
I think that they seem to want to be here to assist us in a lot of ways. I think particularly our animal companions that live in a domestic environment with us as well. I think that they do purposely come in to be healers and teachers and guides. So they will take on our energy and our problems and our, but they'll also give us joy. They can just be joy givers, that you may have been through some kind of traumatic experience or just a bad time in life, and you can have an animal come in later on and just be there just for pure joy to make you feel better.
That's hitting a chord and bringing tears to my eyes. Yes, I'm in complete alignment with how you're describing this. Absolutely. Tom Thurber is sharing, if I get any happier, I'll bust a joyous seam. Tom Thurber takes care of kitty cats, and he has many kitty cats. And so for him to say that, it's just like, oh my gosh, I get so much more. And Allie Sawyers, another mentorship participant, is saying, yay, Rachel, she's cheering.
Thank you, Allie.
And Lorena Longo is saying hi. And she says, oh, how nice that Rachel, that she paints and puts crystal on the painting on our beloved ones. The intention, so nice. By the way, what crystals is she radiating from her heart chakra? Is that moldavite? Oh, what are you wearing today?
Yes, it is moldavite and her diamond.
And wow, I cannot wear that. I have to set mine down. I spend very little time cuddled next to my moldavite.
I can only wear it for short periods of time as well.
It's beautiful.
It's very powerful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing that you got that and you harness that. Good eye, Lorna. Everybody has a really good eye. Bernadette Orditz is saying, my current dog is definitely here for healing and to bring laughter back into our lives. She's all these kids. Yeah. The Nancy Garfinkle, you're asking where can you buy the artwork? So yes, share it with us.
Yeah, so Society 6 and Redbubble. And also I'm doing my commissioned work on my website, which is lemurianark.com. And I've got free worldwide shipping for Luminaires until October the 1st with the discount code JBARK. So if you email me with your details, we can go ahead and do that. It'd be lovely to connect with you.
I am so grateful for you and offering that as free shipping. So you guys can get your commission pieces from Rachel with animal companions that are with you currently or the ones that have transitioned. And you'll see that there's different tiers, different sizes, and different price points. And Rachel, I find that they're incredibly reasonable. Thank you. You even do some artwork where you provide the message that comes with it. Like you write it out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or no? Yes. I was like,
Yeah.
I remember reading it. I put up the Society 6 link so that you could see that example. And here is her website one more time so you guys can check it out. Lorena, I feel it. The vibration is huge from that crystal. You're picking it up over there. Oh my gosh. That's just too much.
Powerful stuff.
You also have a really sweet Instagram account, and you put down some photographs and things that you notice and that you see. So when we come across somebody like Rachel, who has all this creative output and this energy, if you align with it and you're listening and going, I love her soft spoken way, which I might mention, Rachel, I am so excited for you. Today is the first time that you've come out in public and you've said who you are and what you do.
Yes.
So this is a ginormous leap in time, in bravery, in courage, in excitement, and in telling life. This is exactly how you want to spend your time and your passions. So for that, I applaud you.
Thank you.
And not only are you here physically and announcing it, you're sharing Instagram, you have a Twitter account, you have, your website, your company, a Pinterest account. Like you are there to make an impact. So Luminaires, if this resonates with you and you're listening to her come up, come out, and you align with it, take the time, put your fingers to the keyboard, research it. Research Lemurian Ark, click a link, see if it resonates with you, follow through. And this is the only way that all of us are going to create change is if we actually take that extra time and follow through with what we find is fitting. Bethany is saying, so brave. Bernadette says, congratulations. I know Nancy Garfinkel says, I'm proud for you. It's a big thing. Because not only are you, Rachel, coming out and just saying, I see auras, I talk to animals, this is who I am, this is who I desire to be seen for. It's not in your automatic nature as an introvert, as somebody who's a little bit more reserved and shy, to want to stand up and even shout out. So it's something else that you're stepping through, moving through.
Yes.
I'm just so happy.
And I would encourage anybody who wants to do any kind of energy centric business to go ahead and do Jamie's mentorship course, because she puts you way out of your comfort zone, way up into the universe in places that you never thought you'd go to. But she does it very gently, very carefully, and very safely. Always felt very safe in Jamie's hands. So I really think, it's a really good idea if anybody's out there and they really want to get going with something, that they reach out to Jamie. And if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions, because I think it's just a great thing that if you can wake up every day and do some passionate job that you love, then it's a wonderful thing. And help at the same time, help the animals, help the planet, help everybody. It's great. So reach out to Jamie.
Oh my God, to hear you talk like this and say these things, my cheeks are hurting because I'm smiling so much. This is you. I love it. Well, before we close up, and I know I've kept you over a little bit, I like to ask people if you have a gold nugget, which to me is something like a mantra, a metaphor, a way of life that you use to help yourself stay in alignment? If you have one of those, do you mind sharing it with us today?
No. Well, I never thought I'd be able to bring all my passions together into any business, let alone an energy centric business. And it's literally a dream come true for me to be able to paint and connect and assist the animals all day. And I have Jamie to thank for that. But my golden nugget is one that I have on a pink post-it note by my bed, and I see it first thing in the morning and last thing at night. And it's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." And that's something that motivates me every morning and every night.
Oh my God. Okay, that is so beautiful. Can you say it one more time? The future is.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
You have certainly believed in the beauty of your dreams. This is so much fun. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Luminaires, for your love and support.
Agreed. Thank you, Luminaires, for your time, your eyes, your ears, your heart. May you choose happiness today and every moment that you can. And remember, this is not woo-woo, it's true. And I will be seeing you this Friday, 1 p.m. for a little chat. And we'll be catching you for a few more interviews next week. We'll be pushing that out there. Thank you so much. If you like this kind of content, remember to like, subscribe, and if you're hanging out on YouTube, hit the notification bell so that you know when we come back live. Take care, Loomies. Bye.